down. Hey, you guys couldn't even hear me because it was on mute. I love being live. So check this out. We want to talk to you about Weight Watchers. And some of you may be saying, well, when it comes to relationships, right, and the things that weigh you down, maybe relationships isn't the thing that weighs you down the most. But I want to tell you that it is. You may say, well, no, my health weighs me down, but that's because your health weighs you down. It is about the most important person in your life, which is you. You may say, no, my money, it weighs me down, right? But that's because it represents people in your life or what you think that other people think about you if you don't have any money. Right? If you didn't care about anybody, you may not care unless you think that when I don't have any money, it's going to take me all the way down to the 6 degrees of fear, which all lead to the fear of death. So anyways, we're going to dive into this. Good morning, Priscilla. Priscilla is in the house. Hey, she is just drinking her coffee. I love it. I had my Lyft drink today. I just threw it away. Oh man, I want to show you guys because that gets me going and it is healthy for you. Spring is in the house. Spring says, there he is. Come on. I love it. I love my friend Spring. But I think I love everybody. Matter of fact, I know I do. And so when you come on, if you can just put where you are watching from, let's dive into the content that we have for you today. This is 5 minutes of fuel. Remember, we do this Monday through Friday and on Sunday, 6:45, right here on the Joel page for Arise 22. And we are talking about being Weight Watchers. As I said before, I realized that my microphone was on mute. That Weight Watchers talks about the mindset that we have surrounding relationships and watching the weight that they put on you. And if you want to be able to take off, if you want to be able to win, if you want to be able to run the race, you got to lay aside the weight that easily snares you. And a lot of times it is surrounding relationships. And so we are Weight Watchers. And the first thing that we talked about when it comes to being a Weight Watcher is accepting disappointing realities. That some of the people that you try to help, you may not be the best person to help them for one or more reasons. They may not be receiving you, or you just don't have the connection that you need to help them. And you got to be able to know when you've done what you can and it's just not working, right? So let's dive into today is sort of on that line, which is don't try to be God. Don't try to be God, right? Spring said, 5 minutes of fuel. What? Love that. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it shall be. All right. Don't try to be God. How many times do we try to help people and we actually enable them? It's good to give a friend a loan, right? You can give a friend a loan, but when you put them on welfare, when you're the one that always has to be there to help them, remember you fall into the syndrome where the 3 dysfunctional behaviors in relationships are the victim, the victor, and the villain. And people change throughout relationships with these 3 dysfunctional behaviors. And so the victor is the person that has always got the cape on and they got to save somebody to be important, right? Then you have the victim. They need to be rescued in order to feel authentic and powerful, but that's a false sense of identity. And so when somebody is always needing you and you always have to come to the rescue, you enable them and you're trying to be God. I remember what it was like when I had to cut the ties of the God string with one of my children. And it's hard to do that when you love somebody, but when you love somebody, you have to trust God. You got to be able to let them experience sometime be the failure that happens. Spring said, Joel, you got the fire burning hot early this morning. Amen. I got the fire burning hot. Alrighty. And so here goes the last one. So we're not going to try to be God. Only God can be God. Let God help somebody and pray to God how you can help somebody. Do that and then let it go. Right? Alrighty. And number 3, become comfortable with criticism. Inevitably, if you have to cut ties in a relationship because it is just not beneficial for both of you. I remember I had a friend that we had to do that. We got into too much trouble together and we just didn't work. Neither one of us could help each other. So we had to cut bait. But not everybody is going to be in agreement with that. And you got to be willing to step away and become comfortable with criticism, because people will criticize you. In the Bible, it says in Luke 6, I believe it's 26 or Luke 36, Jesus said, woe to you who have everyone speaks well of you. And it says, such as your fathers were with the false prophets. Oh my God. Did you hear that? If you heard that, if you can just put yes in the comments, and then we'll take it to the house and be done. If you heard that, what I just said, let me make sure that I'm getting this right. Luke 6:26. Woe to you when all men speak well of you, for so did their fathers to the false prophets. In other words, Spring said, yes. In other words, you're not going to have everybody speak well of you if you're speaking the truth in love. If you're speaking the truth in love, then people are going to not like some of the things you say, and they're just not going to speak well of you. And so this helps me with my syndrome to want to have everybody like me because I love everybody. But you cannot do that. If you are, check yourself before you wreck yourself, because you might be a false prophet. In other words, you're telling people what they want to hear instead of what they need to hear. Hey, that is Winning the Day for today. Hopefully you got something out of that. Remember, we'll be back here tomorrow, 6:45. We do it Monday through Friday and on Sunday. And if you want more content, go inside of the Remnant Nation group, because we do the daily deliverance at 10ish Monday through Thursday. And check back here for more content all the time. I'm Joel. It's been a pleasure to be with you. Remember, position yourself to win and start winning now. Bye-bye.